All right, let's pick up real quick this afternoon. We're going to take a look at this Integra DVD player. This isn't something that I normally do videos on. And honestly, I don't work on a lot of DVD players just simply because it's not really cost feasible. But this guy happened to give me a call a few weeks back and said, hey, I've got a really nice Integra CD player, is what he said, that I'd like for you to take a look at for me. And the day he happened to bring this over, I was out in my garage having a beer with my neighbor, and he handed it to me with the front facing me, so it looked just like a CD player to me. And it was only today when I got it out and wanted to do an estimate on it that I found out that it was an actual DVD player. The issue he was having with this is the tray would come out just so far and go right back in. And so at first thought, maybe we have a belt or something that's going bad in this. And so I started the process of disassembling it. Went ahead and took the whole thing. You got to take the entire nose piece off, all the screws underneath to get the mechanism out, and there's one belt underneath. The tray is actually direct driven with a gear and motor, but there is one belt that runs the tray in and out and raises and lowers the optical block. That belt was fine. There wasn't any issue with that belt, but I will tell you what I found wrong with this. We'll go ahead and open it up. This is a model that will open and let you put a disc in while a disc is playing. But the issue that I found with this is right here underneath this cam gear. Once you take the tray out, and of course you'll have to separate the tray from the bottom part of the mechanism, you'll get access to this gear. You can take this gear off, and over here on the right hand side, there's a small square circuit board with 3 micro switches kind of arranged in a triangular type of shape. And the way that this thing knows what position the tray is in and what it's doing is this cam gear will pass touching those switches in a certain sequence that lets this thing know what position the tray's in and what you're trying to do. And basically those switches got dirty, and so it was kind of erratic acting, going in and going out, not really doing what it was supposed to. And so you have to take those switches apart. Probably could still buy those, but those switches were pretty notoriously used. JVC made a couple of portable stereo units with a disc changer in them that used those type of switches, and those switches would always get dirty, and then it would cause the same deal, only it wasn't a 5-disc carousel, it was more like a magazine type of setup. So in his case, I went ahead and just took the top off all 3 switches, got some cleaner down in there, cleaned up the contacts on the switches, and they are kind of, they've got kind of a spring load to them. Got those cleaned up, and everything is working the way it's supposed to. Pretty interesting unit from the standpoint of control. I'll see if I can spin it around and give you a look at the back of it. It's got a lot of features on it as far as connections and things of that nature. Let's see if we can take a look here. It does have BNC connections for one set of component outputs. It has a second set of component outputs that's just RCA. Even though it's not a Blu-ray player, it does have HDMI out as well as composite, optical and coaxial audio output for digital, RS-232 for control, IR for if you want to do IR control, and 2 sets of standard analog RCA out. Very nice player, lots of provisions here for anything you pretty much want to do. And so I decided this would be a good one to get out my copy of R30, Rush's 30-year anniversary tour. And aside from Exit Stage Left, this would be my favorite live concert by them. Very comprehensive, a retrospective of their career with this disc, 2-disc set, and excellent audio quality on this. Let's take a listen to this. I'll turn it up in the mixer for you, and we'll take a look at the video a little bit. So very nice player, and again, not something that I normally do. And if I would have known this was a DVD player when he called me, I wouldn't have even had him bring it over to me. I wouldn't even have taken a look at it. But as it turns out, it is a pretty nice player, and I'm sure this makes a real nice CD player, which appears to be what he uses this for, as that's what he said it was when he called me. He said, I have a CD player I want you to take a look at. So he may not even use this for the DVD functions, but all of that does seem to work just fine. Not a Blu-ray unit, even though it does have the HDMI output, strictly just standard DVDs, no Blu-ray. So thought you guys might be interested in taking a quick look at something a little different than we normally work on around here. And not only that, but if you happen to have one of these and you have erratic operation, you might want to take a look at the 3 switches underneath that cam gear on the circuit board there. Definitely possible. Take your time, you can take those switches apart, clean them up, put it back together, and it works just like brand new. So, as always, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next full-length video.